She missed it. All right, so yes, so John, why don't we go ahead and start?
You should be okay now.
Okay, thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Board of Education Budget, Finance, and Operations Committee meeting for Monday, August 16th. All right. First of all, I don't know if Sean got Dr. De Silva is online, but she's participating and is listen only. So she's not feeling great. So why don't we jump right in and we'll jump in with Ms. Norton.
Happy to.
Thank you, Don.
I just wanted to give everyone a quick update as to where we ended the fiscal year on June 30th. That is not our final numbers that we report to the state. We have 90 days to complete account in some encumbrances, get in any revenues that are slow getting in, run the accruals, the payrolls, the end of the year payrolls, and also to tidy up the last 2 weeks with the bridge program. So what are in these numbers are not those things yet. What we will be reporting to the state, which is our September 1st, used to be called the ED001 report, which is what most people are familiar with. It's now the EFS report, which is the Educational Finance System, is our numbers where we hard close our year, which will be we'll be doing this week in order to start preparing for that upload to the state. As you can see that we did very well, I believe, in my opinion, staying within our budgeted appropriation of $99.9 million. You can see that on the projections, we have end of year about $35,217. That number is definitely caused some sleepless nights and some concern as to making sure that we were able to cover all of our expenses within our budgeted appropriation. As you can see that during my report that you have here, all the areas that we anticipated having overages, we did have overages, and other areas where we knew we were going to be over budget, we have shown over budget as well. In doing so, normally we don't have an August meeting, an early August meeting like we would have. And so we usually do our year-end transfers in order to get our financials as clean as possible for loading to the state report. And so we have done transfers, which you'll see a little bit later today. These numbers are with those transfers that we have completed. And we have ended the year at this point, as of June 30th, about $3.3 million in encumbrances. Obviously, by the time we do our financial report to the state, that'll be down. And I think we're at 1.6 million at this time. Most of what that encumbrance is has to do with finalizing projects throughout the fiscal year. Also is a large portion of it is special education with the encumbrances that they have in order to pay for known agreements with students. If you look at the financials for the athletic department, this is as of June 30th for the athletic department. They're running as of June 30th about 48,621 over budget, which I have brought to you and have your approval in order to use any of their fund balance to cover that. Once we finalize it, this will be the last report you'll see for the athletic fund in this format. Going forward, they are part of the general fund now, and therefore will be presented with all of the rest of the general fund information. Once we finalize and close out all their encumbrances, I can give a verbal update as to where that final fund had ended up and what will be done with that fund balance based on your direction. Any specific questions on those financials?
Good. I think we're good, Dawn.
Okay, great. I'll jump right into the transfers. I presented the transfers in a very summary format. Obviously, there's many lines behind each of those transfer summaries. But pretty much this is where we were over and where we were under and the reasons behind where we were over and under. And you could see I have all the negatives at the top and all of the where we had savings at the bottom. And that does tie out to our 35,217 of what our final balance is as of June 30th.
Okay, so just to go ahead, Sean.
Quick, the Chromebook figure there, another 700 grand. Is that in addition to what we approved in a meeting a couple meetings back?
Any Chromebook purchases that we have gone through are part of these numbers, Sean, and are covered within the budget itself here.
No, I get that they're within the budget, but we actually specifically had a vote on Chromebooks a couple of meetings back. Is that included in this number or excluded from this number?
No, that is included in these numbers. We captured all of that. We captured as much as we possibly could in order to end this year covering the expenses and with any overages that we have.
So if I was asked for an accounting of all the Chromebooks for the last fiscal year, that number would include all of those.
That is correct. We haven't received everything, it's my understanding, but the orders are in. And
I get that part.
Yeah, but yes, the numbers are there.
Okay, so this isn't cumulative transfer. This is transfer since May.
Since July 1st.
Okay, this is
This
cumulative
is the whole
transfers.
year. This is
Okay.
where any transfers that I haven't brought for you throughout the year. This is everything at the end. This is putting all of the COVID expenses back into the regular department so that we can report that appropriately to the state, covering any of those additional Chromebooks or expenses that we have brought to you for the year end. And any other overages that were out there based on the final processing of all the payrolls. The only thing that's not included in here are and as part of the encumbrance is what we have for our year-end accruals for payroll and our bridge program.
Okay, and so a difference between this and how we normally see it also is the transfers we normally see are the current months, basically.
Yeah, usually I just bring you whatever's happened between meeting to meeting.
Right.
This is more of a year-end cleanup in order to get our numbers ready for report to the state.
Okay, thank you.
Another redirect. So looking at special ed, we've got a $900,000 overage, and it looks like an almost $500,000 underage on the ECR. So that's about 1.3 mil, plus a portion of that teacher salary, the subs and sped. So we're probably $1.5 million in the hole on special ed. Is that trend expected to continue?
Hopefully not, Sean. I don't expect that to continue, but who knows? I don't know what student population we're going to have for special education, who will be coming in, who will be outsourced, who will be coming back in. Honestly, I don't know. We try to project as best we can going forward where we're going to be when we set the budget. So this is covering this past year and our best predictions at that time when we set the budget for this year, for this past year.
And we've identified the drivers for that approximately 1.5 million.
Yeah, my understanding is that we did receive about 25 students addition into special education, and that these numbers also carry whatever it is, the expense for the IEPs since June.
I know another weird one is school lunch. It looks like we're in the hole about 410, but there was some savings on about 25. So we're about 385 grand in the hole on school lunch. Is there federal money coming for this year? I heard that they're picking up the tab.
Well, what they're doing is what they did during the COVID process itself is they're allowing for one meal per student to be covered by federal funds or state federal funds. Anything in addition to that is on us. The problem is, and one of the other things is they did increase what their reimbursement is per meal by, I want to say it was like 25 cents per meal. So we should be able to cover a little bit better the program with the funds that we'll be getting in, and hopefully more students will be taking lunch as opposed to last year. Last year, we did not have a large participation in our lunch program, even though we had to cover the cost of salaries, benefits, and food purchase for the program. So hopefully, Sean, going forward, the program should be able to handle itself. I'll definitely keep everyone up to date as that program continues, where we stand with it.
And just the last comment, this is finishing ugly, but I appreciate the hard work in getting over the goal line, because there's a lot of moving parts this year and it's not quite what everybody signed up for, but here we are.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, Sean. Any more questions regarding the financial report or the transfers? All right, and again, to echo Sean, it was an incredibly difficult year from a finance perspective. Especially with keeping track of all the reimbursements, keeping track of because you had to track all of the different grants separately and what qualified for what. So in addition to it being a difficult year, for the district as a whole, I think there were some special challenges for UDON, and we do appreciate the communication and the explanation, and anytime we wanted to dig a little deeper into the details, you provided that information for us. So
I'm happy to continue that and keep the communications going, and we'll keep you up to date as to the process as we go forward.
Well, I'm hoping that this year is not going to be quite as complicated, and it'll be a little more straightforward. So
I agree.
All right, if there's nothing else, I think we can go to adjourn. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Sean, second. Rachel. All right, thank you all very much. This meeting is adjourned.